Friday night. We're your hosts. Welcome to the Whiskey Roundtable.
Big G.
Karen, Cognac Karen still, I think.
Okay.
I think I'm back to Cognac Karen.
Okay, we're going to stick with that for a little
We're
while.
gonna-
Krusty Karen.
We're
is
gonna,
here.
yeah, Krusty. Krusty's
Krusty
great today.
Oh, no.
That
Okay.
is a great description.
The
Next
minister
week
to
she's
your
gonna
liver, Bourbon Bob.
And I am Michael Newman.
What's up, Michael?
How you doing, Mikey?
Oh, another day in paradise.
Friends at the round table, sitting around here having some fun today.
Good to have you here.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the invite.
All right.
Welcome.
Yes.
What a long, arduous week this has been.
Yeah, why? Well,
This week has been a long month.
It
It
is.
seems like
Well,
everything that we
It
tried
did.
to do went wrong.
Yeah.
Equipment failures, stuff not showing up on time. I don't know. I'm just glad it's Friday so we can sit here and put this
Enjoy.
week behind us.
That's
yes. Oh, did you pour me this? God love you. I told him he goes, what do you need? I go,
Somebody's
shot
gotta
of
love
something.
me.
Somebody's got to love
it.
you.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
just me, my cigar, my beer, my whiskey.
You know, I always complain about ashes everywhere.
Guest Michael, is your glass empty already?
Oh, we're almost there.
I,
Oh, wow.
Almost there.
Not
I'm not triple fisting like Karen. though.
No, but we got us four at the table. We got a couple
Gotta
people
watch
in the
those
audience again. we got a full
Well,
house
better than an
again.
old fister, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, tell me
Fister
that.
your sister? Is that what's going on?
Oh,
Hey, oh.
whoa, this
Wow,
is
that was a record. That was less than a minute.
Yeah, it didn't take us long to get there, did it? Too funny.
Down, down, down.
Too funny. Were you going to say something about your ash? What were you talking about?
I said I always get pissed off when people ash on the table. And so here's me. I'm getting something, and I move my hand, hits the ashtray, and all the ashes fall on the table. I'm like,
Ashes, ashes, they all fall down.
yeah.
Yeah, it happens. What are you going to do?
So I'm going to pregame here with some of that Nashville barrel from last week and see if it got any better from
Oh,
last
that's
week.
right. That was
yes.
the test that we
Yes.
were going to
Wow.
do.
Of course,
That's-
I'm going to bring some.
Okay.
Just take another
Right.
glass. Just take another glass.
Yeah,
Wow.
so the Nashville Barrel Company, what did you give that last week, Bob?
That was
I'm
a
looking at my
2.9.
A 2.9. And,
Yes.
and we were saying give it a week
Yep.
to set and see if it changes
That's
at
what
all.
because we had enough air room in there. I wanted to see if it oxidized a little bit and maybe change. So
Yeah.
All right.
that's my test for today. So.
Gotcha.
Okay, I can't wait to
No?
hear your thoughts, but maybe you need to let it sit.
I'm
and
going to let it
breathe
sit for a little while.
for a while.
Michael started with Travelers. What did you think of that one right away? Because I know you came in much like everybody else, not knowing. And
Yeah, so, like everyone, heard a lot about Travelers over the last couple of weeks. I've been really interested in trying it, heard a lot of mixed reviews, and I will say that it is definitely a very drinkable whiskey. Touch on the young side,
Yep.
but
Yep.
pretty smooth for a nice 90 proof. Nothing that I think I would go out of my way for, but definitely something that if it was laying around, I would drink it.
Nice.
It's a very nice. It's pretty solid for what it is.
Did
Yeah.
Did I hear you say something about the price point? About
Yeah, so it comes in at like $40 a bottle. I think if it was closer to like that $30 price point, that it would be something that you pick up a little more often. I think once you get into the upper 30s, low 40s, there's a lot of options out there that are
Sure.
honestly better than that. But for what it is, like I said, it's a fine drink for what it is.
I agree.
I totally agree. I'm drinking it right now.
I like it. I mean, it's good.
I'm with Karen. I'm with Karen on that one. With Greg on that one. It's a good one. I think that one should be on everybody's bar.
Yeah. And
Just
again,
as-
just so people, like I said, I think a lot of people sometimes they get so caught up they say, oh, it's this and that, da 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 da. But to come to find out, it's a whiskey. It's not a bourbon. There's a big difference between both.
Right,
So keep that in mind before you. That's why we do what we do, and that's why we taste stuff. And just want to reiterate to people that I guarantee you, the people that don't know that, they're thinking they're drinking a bourbon. They're not drinking whiskey.
No, it's good pour.
Especially if you're a staunch bourbon person, and maybe you like a couple of scotches, maybe you don't like most, different things like that. We don't do a lot of whiskey on this show. We always do most of the time bourbons and
Well,
ryes,
yeah.
and we want to get into that, but bourbon is what everybody's pulling off the shelves. So
A spiritus show.
yes, sir.
A spirited show? Is that what you said?
Spiritus.
Mike, nice to see you, man.
Yeah.
Oh no, I appreciate it. You know,
Everything's good with you? Family, everybody?
oh, can't complain. Like
Good
I said,
deal.
another day. And any day in Ohio that's not snowing is a great day.
Oh, I'm telling you what.
Enjoy next week. We're going to have 60-degree days again.
My buddy, he coaxed me into getting 2 snowmobiles, and now we can't go snowmobile riding. But anyway, we'll talk about
You're
that
welcome,
later.
everyone. We bought snowmobiles. That's why it's not
I
snowing.
get 2 snowmobiles, and all of a sudden nobody wants to ride snowmobiles. I'm like, well, don't let the sun bother it.
I'm glad now, because it used to be me, because anytime I had a 4-wheel drive, we never got snow. So I don't have a 4-wheel drive right now.
I
I got
grew
snow,
up,
so I'm
well,
done
we
with
all
that.
grew up in that era. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, back in the 70s, you know, late
Oh,
70s.
man. Just to have a couple snows like that again would
Yeah.
be nice.
And you got some great stories about snowmobile riding back in the day.
Yeah. Jesus.
Gosh, the things that we could get away with back then.
Yeah, yeah.
The good old days.
I had one of the guys I still talk to today, and he was a police officer early back in the 70s, early in his career, and we would, especially when the weather was super bad. You're talking like 10 inches of snow every day for 5 days,
77,
and
78.
we would terrorize those police officers, terrorize them. And it was a new, I think Bainbridge PD started up in 1978, if I remember correctly. So we would just give them hell. One day, we filled a police officer pulled up and got out of his car, and I was facing the opposite way, and I rooster-tailed and filled his car with snow. Next thing you know, I'm riding down the main road, 306. I'm riding down, running. Wow, I was the fastest sled on the street, right? And next thing you know, my son, but they set up a perimeter where they were going to catch me. So
Can't outrun a radio.
I'm trying to start that snowmobile. It wouldn't start, and the cop goes, "Let it go. You're done. You're done." And all of a sudden, I take my helmet off, and he goes at me, he goes, "But Tagley, I should have known it was you." He's like, "I got this one, guys. I'll make sure he gets home." Could you imagine that today on a main road? Oh my God!
I mean, we used to have the same thing. Like
Too funny.
I grew up in a suburb of Cleveland. I won't say which one it was, but we had several officers that were on the force, and I had a couple of buddies, and they would always pull us over, and it was like, "Oh man, it's just get out of here, go home." Hey, look at, oh man.
Too funny.
But nowadays you can't pull
You
that.
can't do that anymore.
No, that was when they
Oh
used
my
to
God, we had so
just
much
empty
fun.
your beer out and tell you to go
we
home.
We would ride from this area. We'd run all the way up 306. Believe that or not, all the way up 306, the hill, everything, and we go to the Shell station, which is still there, and we'd buy beer and we'd pack them in our belly pans, if you will, and the guys would have, some of the guys smoke cigarettes. I didn't smoke cigarettes, and then we'd go bar hopping. Oh my God, was it fun! Did that for many years.
And how many people were, what was that, bumper hitching?
Oh yeah.
Gooch, you look like you were a bumper hitcher.
You bumper hitcher,
Bumper
you.
hitcher.
Oh,
Crazy.
that's funny.
Yeah,
that
those
used
were
to
the
be,
good
that
old
was
days.
fun. Yeah, those Wonder Bags didn't last too long because they had those Wonder Bags on the on the boots.
Oh my God.
Then I realized you had to put them inside.
Oh my goodness. Oh no, you did.
Yes, I did. I had them on the
Oh,
outside.
you
I was a
did.
dummy.
When I get my snowmobiles back, I'm gonna have to teach my buddy how to ride. But anyway, we'll figure it out from there. So what do we got on the scroll, kids? What do we got? What do we got?
It's quiet. It's very quiet on the scroll.
Okay.
It's very quiet. Nothing to mention right
Nothing
now.
to see here, kids. Nothing to see here.
Move along.
Move along.
Nothing to see. What are you smoking, G?
That's a great question. I'm smoking a Punch 660
Oh,
Maduro.
smoking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm smoking.
A 660 Maduro.
Correct.
You said punch, and I thought it was like
No,
a
Punch
chance.
is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm
Punch.
kidding.
Oh.
So it's a great cigar. I
Are
was
we going to be smacking each other today? We're going to
Yeah.
get physical, start smacking everybody around. Punch, punch.
You go first, please.
I have a box press from Royal Havana. I spent a lot of time at Royal Havana this week since we had a lot of equipment failures. We were working down the street, and it was like every time something happened, we'd have to go to Royal Havana and sit down and
You
just
gotta
chill.
rest. Gotta rest.
Yeah.
Was Dave there or no?
Dave was there one day, Tony was there, and then Steve was there. So we
You were
had,
doing good to Steve.
yeah, it's It's getting bad because my buddy Shane is starting to know the schedules of all the people at Royal Havana. So.
Come on, we gotta get there. Those guys will be there in 10 minutes.
I was gonna say you saying that you were at Royal Havana this week is becoming a reoccurring thing every Friday.
Yeah, and it's really strange because
Yeah, I was at Royal Havana today. What?
well, you know, when you find somewhere good,
Sure.
you just want to go there. And
That's a great
again,
spot.
you walk in there by yourself, you can walk out with 6 new friends. All
You
the
never
time.
know who you meet there.
No.
There's a lot of you know. When I first started, well, when we put the lounge together, I was meeting people, judges and fire chiefs and chiefs of law enforcement and a lot of police officers and just who was who in the community. And you would never know, and they'd sit there and talk to you and this and that, and they walk out and somebody says, do you know who that guy was? No, but I never ask. It's like, I walk in there, I'm the marketing manager, so I have to go to all the events and all that other stuff. I always go. I will literally put everything down that if I'm cooking or whatever, bring it to the Royal Havana, and I walk around and I say hi to everybody and I shake their hand. I do that all the time. You have to, and it's a great thing, and it blew up. It really blew up, and it's a great place, one of the best places to go. Yeah, it takes me 40 minutes to get out there, but once I get out there, I'm in my zone.
Yeah, it takes me a little while to get out there too, and I guess Monday night was Cigar and Shields.
Right, Cigar and Shields. Did you meet the guys or no?
I did not go out on Monday, but apparently I know several guys that were in there. And hey, Sean, I know that you're out there. I know that you go there.
Right.
But they have officers from all over that go up there and just. It started off with like 20 guys, and it's up to 70 people now that come up there. And it's one Monday a month. So
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's
with
another
those
good
guys.
place,
Those guys are
but-
great guys too.
But Dave has treated us all very well. Mm-hmm. He's got a bunch of great cigars. Hey, there was oddly enough, there was a guy that walked in there, didn't know anything about cigars, walked in there and says, "I know nothing.
Perfect.
Why don't you show me what you?" And he, it wasn't Dave. It was actually, I think Tony took care of the
Yeah.
gentleman and walked in there, sat with him, gave him a lesson, talked to him about some stuff. He sat down with the table with us. We had a couple bottles of libations to share, and we talked, and he walked out with several new friends. So
Yeah, it's good. I'm the one that developed the cigar humidor and the lockers.
yeah,
That was one.
I found out that some keys work in multiple lockers out there by accident.
Correct.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, I didn't know.
So we do have we
really?
did have some of that
Yeah.
bull BS, but that's I
but-
think it's cleaned up. by
Yeah, I
now.
think it is too.
Yeah, but-
So
I designed all that, and the guy that wanted to do what he wanted to do, and I know about humidors because my brother in Texas, he had 2 cigar lounges, and on the second lounge, I was a part of helping putting all that together. So I learned a lot. So when Dave called me to come down there because they were having issues, and I went down there, and that's how I got instead of the square. That's why I did this. I cut the point so you can. You have your merch, and you can look in there to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do and not putting them in their pocket. So
And I like how it's just kind of angled
Yeah.
the door, and you can see, you can be in there, you can see the whole place, and while you're finishing one cigar, you can kind of look in and see what you're gonna get next.
and like on the scroll here, Gooch was saying that Dave does have a lot of good knowledge to give. Not only the
wait till he
knowledge,
comes to do the show.
Not only knowledge, but man, if you're fortunate enough to show up there when Dave's there, you're going to be entertained by some of his stories. Oh my God, Dave is the epitome of a storyteller.
And he always has good jokes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Stories about when he goes down to Cuba and picks out his cigars and some of his wrappers, and Dave's a good guy. We love him, and
He is.
again, sponsor of the show, love him to death.
Yep. One of our top
Ding
guys.
ding. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, Dave's a good guy. He's asked me and Karen to come to Cuba many, many times, but I just say to him, I said I can't because I know these people are going to keep me, and I don't want to stay down there. So,
But
when can we go?
you so big. You so big.
but speaking of shameless plugs and everything, let's plug our website.
Yeah, let's do it.
thewhiskeyroundtable.com, our YouTube channel. There's a contact us on our webpage. Please contact us. Let us know. Give us your address. We'll send you a sticker.
Go
Let
ahead.
us know what you want to see on the show.
What do you think? What can we do? What
Yeah.
can we change up? We like
get a
ideas.
Interaction, please.
I get a lot of people trying to advertise, so to say.
Oh.
I think, but
Contact one of us. We'll talk
Well,
to you.
they want to
they want it's for their own
for their
you
own
know,
benefits.
Yeah, they have an agenda, and I'm
Well.
not dealing with agendas.
That's what we can do. We
I
can
just-
vet. We
I
can
do.
vet those people in and out. We only have the quality people.
Right. That's what I want.
There you
Yep.
That's what I
go.
want.
I'm
Like
gonna-
Michael,
yeah,
Mr.
well,
Talkative today.
I was gonna say,
Michael, shut
well,
up.
between you two, oh my god.
You guys are taking over the whole show. I can't get a word in edgewise.
Right? I was trying to work my way around to see what you were smoking before your cigar was actually
Well,
done.
All right, thanks for joining us. We're done tonight. We'll have to have Michael come back.
I was also
I am your host, Big G.
See, I was also going to say that I have worked with a lot of the Cigar and Shields people. They are great people. Been out there with them a couple of times, and they're really a great group of guys. So, anyone out there, anytime you run into them, it's a nice experience.
Yeah, it is. It's fun.
And again, what we're learning is that the cigar and bourbon world is really small because you're starting to know that, hey, if you're smoking cigars or doing bourbon, you're pretty much going to know somebody in somewhere else
Right.
in one of these other organizations, and it's a tight-knit group.
Awesome.
And they're willing to share their knowledge. You go there, you talk about whiskey and bourbons and that, and you know a lot about cigars as well. So it's great that somebody just walks in and says, "Hey, I know nothing."
Yeah.
You probably have 10 people
I always
coming
tell-
up to them.
Oh, it was. It was.
I always people look at a wrapper and they'll say they like the wrapper, so they're going to try that cigar, And I have always, anytime if we get overloaded, I'll get up and I'll walk in with the person or people, if you will,
All right.
and I'll say, "What do you know about cigars?" "Well, I don't know anything. I'm trying to learn." So I said, "Okay, so put that down. You don't want that because you'll be sick
Right.
and you'll never smoke another cigar again." And then I take them over to the light body cigars, and I said, "Listen, try this." And I don't try to ever sell them the most expensive thing, because that's how you lose business. Okay, so you get the smaller blends, the lighter blends, blah blah blah, and you give them 3-4 cigars and say, "Start with that. If you like it, come back." And I'd have to say 80% of the time of my experience, I see those people back in the lounge.
Yeah, this gentleman, Bobby, was the guy that walked in there, and he got hooked up with some cigars, sat down with us, and then it was like, "Oh, do you like bourbon?" He goes, "Well, yeah. Here, try this one with that, and try this one with that." And so it was like, you just go in there. It's a nice friend building, networking type
Sure.
situation. So,
Sure.
all right.
So
Now-
what are you smoking?
I was
Mike?
saying,
Yes.
now if I can get into what I'm
trying,
cooking.
I'm
Now we're
trying.
trying. Hi, Mike. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's already out. We're going to another.
Mike, we'll see you next week, I guess.
So this is a Macanudo
Macanudo,
Cru Royale.
Cruel Royale.
Yeah, it's a nice
That's a great cigar.
medium mild blend. Really good smoke.
Yep.
Really enjoying it.
And you don't get to smoke cigars that often because you don't like to smoke in the cold.
Yeah, I don't have that heater outside like all these fancy people do. So
Fancy.
What are you trying-
We came to
what
the
are you trying
garage
to
one
say?
time. Michael was over at the house about a week
Was
ago.
that a compliment or was that
I don't know.
Or was that a FU?
Yeah, we were sitting in the garage and I had my propane heater going in there.
look, he's also saying he has a garage. Who has a garage?
You have a house?
I had one, but it's filled.
Did you? I thought you upgraded from the refrigerator box.
Hey,
Oh my
But we were sitting in the garage having some drinks and
I
pours.
told you I moved out of Tent City.
Oh.
Tent City, Arizona. We were there. We seen that. Remember that?
That's funny.
Joe Pyro, who coincidentally is somehow related to us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What cigar am I smoking, you ask?
Wait a minute, on the count of three.
Nobody.
So, honey, I didn't know you were
Karen,
here.
what are you
did get?
smoking?
What are you smoking, Karen?
So this was a gift from my friend Karen
Yep,
B.
Karen
and
B.
it is a Drew
You
Estates,
can
The
give-
Girl with No Name. And it's got like a sweet coffee taste to it. I know I let you try it, but what did
it's
you
good.
get out
I
of
liked it. I liked it. I didn't. I liked the aroma
Yeah.
and all that. I didn't really, what do you say?
Inhale?
And no, I didn't. I don't ever inhale cigars, but it's good. I did not, critique it. So to
There's a
say.
very light flavor on
And
that wrapper.
throw them a shout out. I'm surprised they're not on the scroll or not on the one of our
Oh, BBC?
BBC weapons.
That was a
Armory.
delightful cigar. That was
They're
very nice.
gun people. Yeah, people always ask me, well, where do they live? I said, well, you go there, but they have like 6 Rottweilers. Good luck.
So
They're
trying to
"Really?"
get
I
in here
go,
with the 2 bulldogs.
They thought I was kidding. I go, no, don't. don't go play over there.
The Rottweilers are
'Cause
nothing. Karen is who you got to worry
You will
about.
be you will be MIA. But they great
funny.
people. Great
Yeah,
people.
they are. Along with Rawhide Firearms.
Yeah, that kind of
another
smokes
one.
like a tobacco.
Yes, I would agree
does.
with that.
It
I
smokes like a
really
tobacco.
like
That's a good
this one.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
And
it's interesting
Drew
because a lot of
Estates.
people, when they think Drew Estate, they think the acids, a lot
Sure.
of flavored stuff.
Right.
But Drew Estate does a lot of non-flavored cigars as well
Correct.
that are pretty tasty.
Correct. You're exactly right.
Yeah, they are. And it's like every once in a while, I think we were having this conversation earlier. I know I had it as I was up there, and I had a Kuma Kuma up there, and that was a Drew Estates. And every once in a while, you got to have I have to have a flavored cigar. It's kind of like a menthol cigarette. Every once in a while, you got to have one to break up what you're doing. And
Sure.
my go-to is the Drew Estates because I like them as a
That's
cigar.
a cigar no one will ever complain about. You can
Nope.
go sit in the middle of the wealth or the biggest, best, restaurant, and you pull out an acid cigar, one of those cigars. They'll come over and say, "What are you smoking? That's beautiful."
Yep.
Well, that smells real good.
That smells real
Yeah.
good. So, anyway, are we doing a
Anyway.
whiskey show today?
Well, you
Is this a
know,
whiskey show?
I want to stop for a minute. I want to
Okay.
give Michael a chance to. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah,
what,
Mike, what do you
what
talk
do you
about?
want to know? What do you want to
Huh?
tell us?
Baby diapers? What do you tell me? What do you got?
Wow.
Let him speak.
Hey, I'm on a nice page right now, letting you guys go and do your thing. I want to make sure I'm not interrupting the show too much, trying to give my 2 cents here and there. But actually, I have just been sipping some of this Nashville barrel,
Okay.
and I do believe, like I said, I didn't have it last time, so I don't know what to compare it against. But I do believe that it is, for it being pretty much barrel strength,
It
116
is.
proof,
It is. Yeah.
that it has a nice bite to it, but it's not overwhelming by any means.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a nice little spice on the back end. So for me, I enjoy it as a nice sipper. Something you're not going to drink too fast. But I think it, compared to what you guys are saying, I think it opened up pretty well.
Right.
But,
And it has not changed much for me from last week. It's still
Okay.
I'm still at the 2.9 on it. It's a good bottle. I would not turn it down, but I don't think I would be rushing right out.
Yeah, it's $110.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
but
yeah.
still, it's a decent bottle.
Yeah, good. It was good stuff.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's still good bottle. It's still good pour.
So
It's
what
a good to share.
What you're saying is you paid $1 per proof.
Kind of.
Oh, hey!
He's stupid.
You're quick on the math. Look at you.
So
I didn't realize you had math like that.
He did his gazintas.
I want to know. I want to know. So we're gonna get before we get into the whiskey and all that other stuff. When did you start drinking whiskeys?
Me?
And you're gonna have to talk to him because he's gonna tell you. He's gonna school you.
Whiskey was never my beverage of choice.
Mm-hmm.
I was the person who got into whiskeys forcibly. It was college days, going out to the bars,
Always.
and
You went
going
to the
out.
bars in college.
Shocker, right?
Get the hell out of here.
And
What?
everyone's saying, "Hey, you want to do shots?" Yeah, sure. Oh, here's some
Oh,
Jack Daniels.
the worst.
Here's some Jameson. Oh, can we go back to the Milagros and the tequilas because those are much more enjoyable than all these shots of whiskey that I'm not enjoying. But thanks to them and all the peer pressure, I really developed a nice taste for whiskey now, many years later. So that's where it started, casually grew, and Jack Daniels is always the first thing that I kind of gravitated towards, thanks to all those shots.
Right.
But it pushed me into Gentleman Jack, the single barrel Jacks, and then started moving me out into more of the bourbon side of the world. But also at the same time, gave me a very great disdain to Jim Beam.
Really?
It seems like you
Wow.
like one or the other. You do not usually
That
like
is
both.
my go-to
That
bottle.
is true.
So
That's my go-to
because
bottle.
I got so used to that Jack Daniels bite, it kind of pushed me away from other things until you start developing it.
Right.
And by the time I started developing that more mellowed palate, I was past the entry-level Jim Beam stuff and kind
I
of
get
got to the more...
For the money you can't beat. You're talking
$18
$18 to
yeah.
$22 a bottle. And
Yep.
Right.
Some of those bottles are just
Especially
fantastic.
the,
You know.
the black.
The black is fantastic.
Yep.
It's one of my
Yeah.
favorites. I can't remember the Jim Beam that I
The
have.
double oak that you
No,
like?
Double Oak is good. The rye is fantastic. And it wasn't Distiller's Cut. It was Maybe it was
Devil's
Distiller-
Cut?
No,
No,
Distiller's.
Cut. Oh yeah, the
Distillers.
one that comes in the box.
Yeah. So no. I actually have it on the thing. I'm not going to pull it right now. But that they pulled that. That was one of their big. And I don't know if they used that for temporary to produce all the rest of them, the rest of the bottles. You know, the gold, the red, if you will, you know, the bourbons and different things like that. But I'll tell you what, that was a for me, that's what I loved, that Jim Beam bottle. I mean, it's like for $21. I mean, it drank like a $50 bottle. It was so good. And so anyway, I just turned around and I had a friend of mine and said, how many, he was down in Kentucky, lived down there. I said, how many bottles can you get me? So he went shopping. He goes, I found 3 bottles. That's all they had.
Well, how old were you when you started drinking the bourbons?
Oh, how long was before I started drinking bourbon? That
Yeah.
would probably be 2010, 2011.
Really?
I was a big beer drinker.
Oh.
I
Well,
was a big beer drinker.
We used
back
to
in the
always
day.
do 7 and 7s too.
We did.
That was
And-
your
and-
grandparents' drink.
Yeah, right.
Was Seagram 7.
Which we need to do a grandparents, your grandparents liquor cabinet show. We got to pull
Oh.
something out there and do your grandparents
That-
show.
So anyway,
That'd be
enough
fun.
about me. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, yeah. So it's odd because I started slightly before that. College days would have been in the late 20s. I mean, 2006, 2007, 8, around that. Yeah. Old man over here.
No, I'm so old.
Which old man? Him or her? Him or her?
Hey, we're the same age, so
Well, one looks much better.
thank you. I mean,
Wow! I was trying to say thank you.
Bob, that was a compliment. Anyway, go ahead.
So, but thanks to all that, like I said, between the shots of Jack, shots of Jameson, really got me into like Jameson Black Barrels.
Right.
One of my favorite things to drink still. You start going into, you know, traditional things when you start drinking, the basics. You know, you had your Jacks, your Jims, your Jamesons, your Crowns, things like that, where you
Right.
start off there. You start with your Jack and Cokes, Crown and Cokes, things like that, and you traditionally move forward. And it's nice because I think even nowadays people still start with those very basic drinks
Right.
to get them into it. And then soon you're adding less Coke, less ginger, more Jack, more Crown. And next thing you know, you're just drinking it straight. And that's, you know, it's nice. And then soon you don't even need ice and it's room temperature. And you're like, oh, you just drink right out of the bottle now.
I never ever, true story, I never ever, from the time I started drinking whiskeys, if you will, I never ever put ice in it. And it could be, the problem was, like, if I would go somewhere, we'd be invited to a cookout or whatever, and it would be like 95 degrees. And when you start sipping that bottle, the next thing you know, you feel like you just got off the treadmill, so to say. You know, you're like, oh my God. But you just maul through it, bro.
I have a question. So you said between Jack and Jim, you know, you're the Jack person. I'm
Correct.
the Jim person. But I do want to just ask, what is your, right now, your go-to, your favorite that
Okay,
you've
so
been recommending?
so there's
Hennessy?
you pegged me way too
Wow! Well, yeah, we got a cognac for you to try. That's much better than that.
We do. You're gonna love it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
So there's different stages of that. There's your everyday drinker. There's your more things for more special occasions, whatnot. But my two probably favorite things right now that I've been enjoying, when you can find it, Weller Special Reserve for the price, $26 a bottle, is fantastic. If I'm looking for something a little bit more upscale, I really enjoy Knob Creek 12, and I enjoy Woodford Double Oaked.
Very good.
For someone who's like, oh, Blanton's, for the
Garbage.
same exact,
Garbage.
I agree. If you try it blind against other things, there's nothing about it that truly stands
If you got to
out.
be blind, then you don't have to drink it.
if you try it blind and you're trying other things, there's nothing about it that truly stands out other than it's really smooth.
Sure.
But as far as flavor profiles, there's not enough to me that says, oh, I have to have this. Whereas, especially with how hard it is to get, that when stuff like Woodford Double Oaked for the same exact price to me
Right.
has such a better flavor profile
Amen.
to it.
I agree.
That's the one that I always tell people, if you haven't had it, please pick up a bottle and try it, just because it is so unique for what it is.
I did for Christmas. I did for all my guys that bring stuff to me. I got them all store picks, different store picks, which is good. The store picks are great. They really are good. I'm not a Blanche guy.
Ohio has stepped up their game in the store picks
They
this
have.
last year or
And-
so,
and-
and it's been a lot better.
And I've had, it's like all the new ones that have come out, which has been like 7 or 8 different bottles. I've had the opportunity to have 4 of those different of 8 bottles, and they really have upped their game. It's, you know, I would drink that. The standard Blanton's, you know, back in the day, believe it or not, Blanton's was a bottom shelf drink, bro. People don't realize
We-
that. And
yeah.
they still that was from that day to current. They still put it out because it's marketing. So
Yeah, it was like
it's-
Rock Hill Springs. Rock Hill
Yeah.
Springs, when I first started drinking, it was $25 a bottle.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting you say stuff like that because I worked as a liquor store manager for years. And we'd have a guy that came in every other week, picked up a bottle of Blanton's. That was his thing to drink way before the big bourbon boom. And then slowly it started getting harder and harder to get. We'd always keep one aside for him because we're like, hey, we know this guy's been getting it for years.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it got to the point where it was, you get one
One
case,
only. Yeah.
and it was like, oh, can't even hold it for him anymore. And kept feeling bad. He'd come in trying to get a bottle, and it's just like, sorry. Just like, hey.
Yeah, that's tough. It really is with that stuff. But yeah, I mean, you try to take care of your customers and
Especially
yeah,
the ones that were drinking it way before everyone else
way
hopped on the
before
train.
anybody
Sure.
else knew what it was. I
Yeah.
agree.
Everyone's jumped on that bandwagon.
Yeah. So, but I did. I everybody got a Blanton's. Everybody got a Blanton's, and they're all store picks. So make sure.
So yes, we are a whiskey show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Correct. What are we drinking? You want to take it up to the camera so
Sure,
everyone
sure.
can see what's doing?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this
I
was
might
one
have
of
to turn it-
I
turn
think
it
this
to-
was one of those that we were just trying to pick out what we wanted to drink.
This came from Rob, right?
Rob up north.
John, my brother.
Oh, your
Oh,
brother
Kurt.
John.
Also,
Okay.
gift from
Jeez.
your brother. Okay.
Readily available in South Carolina.
It's very good.
It
by the way.
is readily available in South Carolina, but not Ohio. You have to go online, and if you can find a website that actually ships to Ohio, there you go. It's a very subtle.
Elusive.
It's very subtle. It's a very subtle label. It's hard to read.
It is
but
hard to read.
It is a forbidden small batch.
What was cool is that we were looking for the bottles to try for the table, and I was turned loose in the warehouse down here in the basement,
Ruh-roh.
and I found that one tucked away in the corner underneath a couple things, and the bottle just like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's do this one.
The
And
bottle does grab your attention.
The bottle
the
is definitely
shoes.
it
Yeah.
is, and
I love the bottle.
I'm like really waiting to try this one. This has been one of those that
Yeah,
I-
it's good.
I hope so.
It is.
I
It's
hope
good.
so.
Well, you can tell.
So-
I mean, I know we poured them out, but we drank a third of that bottle for sure.
Why don't we pass those out so
Yeah,
we
let's
can
pass
at least
them
start
out.
getting some nose
You
on
kids
them?
got
Yeah,
your
start getting
stuff
some
over there?
notes and let me give you some
Yeah.
notes on what I
Yeah.
found here.
And I know that Karen was going crazy trying to find stuff on this one because it was very elusive.
Very elusive.
That's
right?
that's kind of why I'm a little crusty because
Crusty
I
Karen.
was just kidding, Connie.
It wasn't
No.
because she hasn't showered.
it's for real. Yeah, well,
Well, that's why I'm sitting a little
Wasn't
further
that
away from you.
Wasn't
I mean,
that
hey, I
Krusty's or?
Febrezed myself.
Oh my goodness.
you get the little pine tree things hanging from under your arms.
No, but no, it was very difficult to find information, and I think I joked on the lead up on the website about this. It got its name Forbidden because they are forbidding you from getting any information
Yeah.
about the whiskey bourbon. I'm
It's a
sorry,
big secret,
itself.
huh? Okay.
But I did get some information that I can share with y'all.
Sure.
It
Sure.
is distilled and aged and bottled at
Bardstown
Bourbon Company,
Great
Okay, so
company.
that's good
great,
company.
Great company.
and it comes from Mary Ann Eves. So some of her history in the whiskey industry, she started as an intern choice with Brown Forman, and then she was the first woman to earn the title of master distiller
Nice.
with Castle and Key in
Yeah.
Frankfurt.
Oh, no, that's right.
okay.
She's that. Oh yeah, I was following her for a while. Yes.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. She's very talented. She's more on the chemistry end of the.
She is very,
She's very
scientific.
into the. She's very scientific into the chemistry end of it. She had a lot to do with the Blade and Bow.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Castle and
Yes,
Keys
yes.
to bring
Yes.
that up.
Yes. And she's a champion of unique whiskey making
Mm-hmm.
processes. And she likes the, oh gosh, I wish I had it here.
You
It's
get your Merdswicks?
I am getting my Merdswicks.
Okay.
I had, she,
Go
I
ahead.
can always count on you, dear,
Yes,
to
dear.
just, you
Yes,
know,
yes.
just be there for
Make
me.
me pop pie. Go
I
ahead.
know. She likes the low temp fermentation
Yes.
processes.
Low and slow.
She says that by lowering the temperature during the fermentation, that more esters will develop in the mash, and
Correct.
it creates a more complex and flavorful
Yes.
bourbon.
Awesome.
So, but you're right. She is very into the chemistry. I would love to give you more information
But that's all
about
you got?
this. I did go on their website, which feel free to go for yourself. It is drinkforbidden.com. But when I went to the about, right? I go, can you believe this shit?
What?
Was the about section forbidden?
No,
You needed a password.
How'd you say that before? You sounded like Rob.
What?
Rob.
Boat.
Up north.
a boot.
About us.
But
Every
there was-
time I say that to him, he goes, "Ugh."
But there was something on there that says flavor. It says, yeah, good luck. Let us know. It said, let us
please
know.
confirm.
Please
Yeah.
confirm and let us
Tasting
know.
notes. I'm like, oh my god. So, yes, and to kind of preface that, they are newer.
Yeah.
So they're just getting their stuff together. The Forbidden hit the shelves in 2023, although they started this whole process back in 2016. So it is a 5-year.
Mm-hmm.
It is a small batch. They also have a single barrel bourbon as well. The small batch, I did say 5-year, 95.2 proof.
Okay.
So it's at the lower end.
Okay.
But what's unique?
That's kind of the sweet spot as
Yeah.
far as my likes, if you will.
Okay.
You know.
There you go.
But now that Marianne's involved in it, I'm more intrigued.
Look at you.
I really am, because I follow her and I like what she does.
Yeah,
so.
she does a great job for sure.
I will say.
Bardstown's a great,
Yeah.
great,
What-
great. They really upped their game from the days.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
sorry.
I
No,
cut you
it's-
off.
it's good.
my fault.
No. You kidding me? So you guys know.
Fred
Get
Nethel merch.
ready.
What's
Get
that?
ready.
What are we doing?
No, I was just. Are you
Oh,
nosing
yeah.
it? Make sure you're
Yes.
getting ready.
So I'm
this
gonna
is,
I'm gonna go on the thing that this is gonna be a whiskey roundtable trust us type of review.
Yeah, trust us, because obviously the About Us is forbidden on the
Yeah.
Forbidden. But this is a unique mash bill because it is 75% white corn, which
Okay.
is not typically used. It
Keep your
is
mouth open just a little bit.
12% white winter wheat
Okay.
and 13% malted barley,
Oh.
which is on the high end on the barley side. It's, I think, what did they say? Four Roses, and there's another one that's one of the higher ones at like 13-14%. So this is right there
Excuse
on the
me,
high
sorry.
barley side. You were nodding your head, Michael. Do you know? I don't know. I don't know. if you were just-
That is high barley. Anytime you get out of like the 10% range, it's definitely a high end.
Higher end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Usually
And
there's
it-
just enough in there to just add that little extra flavor. You don't usually get into the teens like that.
Well, and that might be good because I'm a beer drinker, and there's a lot of barley in beer, so this may be a good match for me. And as Cheese said, it is readily available in South Carolina, along with Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia. Otherwise, you can get it online, and it's about $129 a bottle.
Pour that back in the bottle, please. We're not drinking this tonight. Y'all like Coca-Cola?
That was last week's.
Their single barrel, it has the same mash bill, but it comes in at 120 proof. So a lot higher than the 95.
I get obviously caramel, but I do get a dryness, oak, if you will. I don't know, sweetness.
I will say the nose is very light.
It is.
Nothing particularly stands out too much, but I do get a little bit of like that honey sweetness to it.
Okay.
But that's
I go
about.
with that. I go with that.
So nothing like to me really stands out.
I get that sugar, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cane or
Yeah, like
brown.
I think it's more like a white sugar.
yeah. But it's soft. I mean, I don't get any ethanol.
I'm getting like a chocolate.
Okay.
A very light chocolate, very subtle, very light, and this is going to sound weird, but a banana peel.
Okay.
The banana peel itself, not the fruit, but the peel at the stumps. It's like it's almost earthy, but it's a sweet earthy.
Yeah, it does have an earthiness to it. It
There's a
does.
sweet earthiness
So
to it,
we-
and it's
we-
not a spice.
I come back to you said wheat, right? I come back.
Yes,
I
they're
come back to
12%
that.
white winter wheat.
I get that wheat, and
It can almost be like shredded wheat I think it's a shredded wheat that I'm getting. Like you open a box of shredded wheat.
yeah. I mean, it's I won't say it's wheat forward, but it's definitely got a wheatness to it in the nose.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot,
Oh my,
not a lot going on, but it's
the dog.
yeah.
So I have a question. It is high percentage of corn, 75%, but it's the white corn. I wonder if
Yeah,
the white
maybe
corn
that's
kind
what
of
I'm-
tames
that- maybe
it
White
that's
corn
down.
and white wheat, or
No, white corn and white winter wheat.
okay.
So I'm wondering if that white corn, because usually when it's a high percentage of corn, I really get that
And I think the
corn
white
in
corn
it.
is sweeter than the yellow golden too.
And I get none of the corn.
That's what I get on the nose.
Let's go to the gallery out there. What are you guys thinking?
What do you guys? What do you kids?
Cheese?
Pretty nondescript, pleasant, not too much ethyl. It hopefully it has more flavor than the nose does.
Kind of like last
The
week.
last couple of whiskeys we've had have had kind of faint nose.
Faint, yes.
nose, but
Yes.
huge flavor. The
Huge flavor,
Yeah, I
right.
mean the Nashville one was huge flavor, but it smelled like literally nothing descript. So I'm kind of with you guys, not real faint.
Yeah,
Right.
I get it. Okay. All right.
Gooch, what you got?
Gooch.
You guys are so articulate with your wording. All I smell is that sweetness. In fact, I'm going to be awfully surprised at how unsweet it might be. So I'm eager to try and taste it because I'm just my nose is overblown by the sugar. That's all
So I
that's
said
all
I
I
get
detect
that
is
sugar.
Like a white sugar, a brown sugar, powder sugar?
I think more of like a white
Like
sugar.
a domino
or
white?
like a cane sugar.
Like
Yeah.
like a fake honey almost. So
Almost
I'd say
like a
white
powdered
sugar.
sugar
Yeah.
to me.
Sorry, I'm
It's
just trying to
very
pull out a little
Try to
extra
pull out
descriptive.
more from me, and I like all your articulations, but that's what I get. Is it's this sweetness, this almost it'd be like the honey that you buy from Walmart or white sugar, yes,
Sure.
something like that.
Yeah, I got to blame Brandon for that because Brandon used to always pull flavors from us. So what more specific? What specifically? Not just sweet, but what specific? Sugar. What kind of sugar? What region of sugar?
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, but I mean, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have a little bit more pain in the assness when it comes to this.
And that's good because there are different types.
Right.
You've got,
No, right.
and it's good. And I like that you said that because as you were talking, that's what made me think powdered sugar because
Right.
powdered sugar seems a little bit more sweet.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Than the others.
It definitely is sweet.
Shall we dive in?
Let's dive in.
Go
kid.
ahead and dive in. I'll give you the notes that I found. Fruit.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, please.
I said I'm gonna try it 3 times.
That's
Yeah.
yes, because we
I'm
said
gonna
you get
Sip
different.
it, you get different, right?
On
Especially
the
if it was smoking cigarette.
on the nose, fruit, floral essences, gentle spice, and honey. Another website that I went to said vanilla bean creme brulee. I don't know, Paul. That's what I was thinking of.
That
when you
sweetness, that
said,
caramelized sugar.
dried fruit, hazelnut, and light sweet citrus notes with a gently layered spice. I get none of that.
I got a hint of, and I know it's not on there, but I got a hint of peach
On the nose?
on the flavor.
Oh, I haven't read that yet. So,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you could be. You could be onto something. That was the nose.
The first thing that stands out to me is it tastes earthy. Like there's definitely an earthiness to
Yes.
it.
It's well grounded. There's
Peach.
something definitely.
Peach.
It is.
I won't say it's a long finish. It's somewhere between medium and long.
A lot of ethanol.
Yeah.
I get the spice, but I don't get any. I don't get any of that. It's not like ethanol to me. Like bothers me. You know. What
Yeah,
I'm
this
saying?
is.
I don't get. You get that heat, if you will. You get that baking spice, but it goes away quick. Doesn't stay there.
I don't get any sweetness.
Mm-mm. No, it's almost drinking like a light rye. That's what I'm getting, a very light rye.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
But other than that, that's
I'm going wheat.
I get a sweet fruit, and I don't know what it is.
Man, is it good?
well. There's your consortium. Everybody's got something different.
I do get a sweet fruit. I wish I could just put my finger
Yeah,
on it.
it's elusive. Kurt's trying real hard over there. He's looking real hard.
So like apricot? Like,
It could be.
What do they call that? The stone fruits? You guys are in the stone fruits?
So it's
peach, apricot, pretty
Yeah.
close, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Same family.
I'm drinking. It's like the, what was that? You
Yeah,
had Canadian Club. What was it Canadian Club Mist rye that you had?
Oh,
the
Canadian Club Rye.
Yeah, the
100%
Canadian
rye.
Club. That's what I'm assimilating this with.
I'm gonna turn you on to what did I say? Canadian Club Rye. I'm gonna turn you on to that today after we're done.
Okay,
the show.
but I think that's where we're going. Is that's
I get peach. It's dry. It's oak dry, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You know, I had a hint of caramel when I first tasted it, so to say, which I said before I was smelling it. But it, you know, I'm sticking with my numbers.
It's not bad.
I would say the legs on this are unbelievable.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
from
definitely.
the whole glass, it just
It's heavy.
it's is that heavy? I don't know.
Well-
I see the lines. I don't know if that makes it heavy or
It's heavy.
is that
You got one leg. Here it's starting to finish
you
up.
got
right
one
now.
leg.
It's
like
got-
a
now it's
Christmas
got-
story
must
with
be
the
looking-
one
One
leg.
leg.
in
It's
the
a one
window.
leg lamp.
Must be a spider.
Yeah.
It's
From
definitely
Italy.
heavy.
It's fragile.
Yeah. It's.
I do agree. It is very dry. That's one reason why
It is.
I
I
lean
think
dry.
towards the
Well,
rye
that's why I lean
aspect.
towards the rye side because when you try ryes, a lot of them are much drier, and that's what I'm getting. But I do pick up some of that like apricot flavor.
So we talk about rye. The ryeness, you know, if I'm going to say anything about rye on this product, I would say yes, okay, you know, I won't say rye forward, but you know, the ryeness might take over. Maybe that I think it's like a dry wheat. Maybe
Right.
that's what we're talking about.
Maybe.
It's dry, but it's I like it. I like it.
No, I'm not getting any grainy taste out of it at all. When you said peaches and she said apricot,
Man, I get
I
peach out of
got
it.
that as
I
an
got that peach,
aftertaste. Not right away. I got more of a. It's just like it's right there.
There's
I
something
can't
right there,
think
but it's nondescript. It's like it seems to be why they probably put on there. Confirm what you taste because I don't think they even know.
It's almost a little bit like that black or white peppercorn.
Almost. It's subtle.
Yeah, there's a touch of that pepperiness, but it's like I said, more like a white peppercorn.
Yeah, it's.
I would say it's very. I think it's very good. And I
Yeah.
will just say that if you're new to bourbon, this may be one you want to try because there's not a lot that comes out and grabs you one way or the other. So it's just kind of mellow and,
Right.
and it is nondescript.
It
But that's not a bad thing. It's
No.
just, it gets you started into, okay, what is bourbon about? What is it like? How is that bourbon taste? And I think it's, it would be a good starter. 95.2, it's a little bit higher than a starter that you would expect.
It's a
but
little warm. It's
It's got
sweet.
a
It's very sweet.
Little bite at the end. I'm not getting any
Which comes
sweet.
with wheat. Wheat comes with sweet for sure.
Wheat sweet.
Yeah, I'm not getting the sweet. The smell is the smell in the nose is definitely misleading for me.
Mm-hmm.
On there, it tastes completely different than it smells.
We have any other
Anybody?
tasting
Gooch, what'd you
finish
get?
notes?
I agree with you that the nose is misleading, and I was suspecting that, as I said, that it would be misleading. I still feel like I'd like the best description of the sweetness now is that creme brulee top that you crack open. Now I want a creme brulee. I still get this, and then yeah, sure, a slight touch of white peppercorn. If everybody, you know, if you cook in the kitchen, know really the difference
Spice.
between that
Sure.
that
Sure.
difference, how much more mild that is, and it's hot for how it's not a very bold drink.
It's not. It really.
No,
isn't.
it's very subtle.
No, it's very subtle. So we doing ratings.
Yeah, we're
I
going
can
to.
do a.
Yeah, why don't you start with
Yeah,
the
we-
ratings?
I can start
I
with
think
the
we could do
ratings
that
at
now.
5.
Sure.
Why not?
Now, my rating is tainted because you guys should never say the price until after we gave their rating, and then they can do it again. Because once I heard the price, that changes my opinion.
Yeah, it does.
It does, and you can't help it. I'm gonna put this one at about 2.9.
Okay.
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 I like it. I like it a lot. I wouldn't go out and buy it if I was in South Carolina, just because for me, there are better whiskeys at better price points.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
All right,
That's true.
since we're
Let's stick-
starting with the audience, Cheese, do you have any palate or finish notes that you want to say before your score?
You know, two of the whiskeys we tried in the last 2 Fridays had really long-lasting flavors, and I find that I don't necessarily like that as much. I like it to clean up well. I think this has, it's not overpowering. I'd call it balanced. I don't consider it hot, but it has flavor. Little spicy apricot. This is more of my kind of drink. So yes, the price is steep, but you're paying for something pretty rare that people wouldn't have.
Amen.
And you know, intriguing bottle. I'm probably higher. I'm probably a 3-4
Big G.
just because I like whiskeys that drink like this. I don't like really long.
I
I
like
don't like hot. I don't like long aftertaste. And I find this cleans up really nice. So I would own this, and I would be proud of it bringing it out. But I agree that for the price, you can get more complex whiskeys than this. But I think it's very pleasant, and I wouldn't be afraid to bring it to any party of
I agree.
aficionados.
Right.
And
I'm with you.
and show it around because they probably haven't had it. So
Absolutely.
the price is tough, but the availability makes me say, if this is a rare bottle, you find it, you bought it, you drink it, you're gonna like it. It doesn't have anything that'll turn you off. So yeah.
What was your? I'm sorry. Your score recap is
What did I give it?
3-4.
3-4.
a 3-4 from Cheese.
Awesome.
All right. I think we're gonna keep going with Michael.
Okay, well, so
I'm sorry. We live in the country and they're shooting guns. It's all good. Don't worry if you hear anything. We're all safe. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, we usually play firework or gunshots.
Yeah. Yeah, we're used to it. We're like, what?
so I also agree that based off the proof and based off the price, had I not known what the price was prior, score would be
Right.
a little different.
Sorry.
But me being someone who's not a huge fan of ryes and a dryness and that sort of like earthy flavor that this gives off, this really is not my cup of tea. To me, it drinks a little hotter than what you would think a 95 proof whiskey should drink. Like I've had 100 proof things that taste much smoother than this. And then that price point of over $100, like for me, it's just like I'm just checking boxes in the wrong column. So for me, like I said, it's not something that I would go to. It's not something, especially with it not being in Ohio and it not being mail order and things like that, not something to go on my way for. And with all that being said, like I said, there's a very unique flavor profile. So if you do like this, I don't think you're going to find anything else that tastes like this.
Yeah, it's a unique. It's
Yeah,
definitely.
it's definitely
unique.
very
Yeah, you
Yeah, I agree.
did hit
I
on
agree with
that.
that, yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you try it and you like it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because it is a completely different flavor profile. But with all that being said, I'd probably say I give it like a 2-3.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair. Now, shall I go?
The minister of, what did you call yourself?
The minister of the liver.
Minister of the Liver. What do you got
Oh
for us?
my! Oh my!
I didn't want to skate past that. I had to bring that back and make sure everyone heard.
But
Go ahead.
I tell you what, I'm gonna go. I know last week it was a little rough with the 2.9 on this one. I'm literally gonna go with the 3.0 flat on this one because, like Cheese says, I think this is one that you put on your bar to share with people that might not necessarily be able to get it, and that's where I'm at on there. This one would be one that it would be a one and done, and a one if I maybe find it and have it and get it to keep around. It's like you said, it's average with some complexities and the wryness. It's not a bad drink. I wouldn't mix it. I would drink it neat. I
Yes.
like it. I like it enough to share and talk about as a conversation piece, but it's not one that I think I would drink every day. So that's my solid 3 with Cheese as let's have it on the bar. It's a great bottle. Let's do some ooh and ah effect. Try this one. Solid 3 for that.
Sorry, guys, wrong.
All right. Did you go down the wrong pipe?
You did.
You all right?
Yeah.
Need me to walk on your back?
Please.
I'm going to keep going this way, and I've changed my score a lot as we went around because I kept thinking, and I shouldn't do this, but I brought in what all of you said, and I completely agree with everything that everyone has pulled out
But
of
it's
this.
forbidden. You can't do that.
Whatever. I'm a rebel. But I'm still gonna give it the highest score that's been given. 3.45. I just beat you by 0.05. I do have to give it a little bit lower score because of the price. And I know when Doug was here, he was like, "Oh, you can't consider the price," but I think you really
Yeah, price does has a lot to-
Especially in
A
this
lot of
day and
people
age.
can't afford like the big bottles, and
Right.
not that that's a diss on anybody, but at the end of the day, you know, people want you know what their friends are drinking or whatever. So a lot of times people, you know, I many times have sat down here with people, not the whiskey round table, but just friends, and say, and I could say, man, this is really good. And everybody's like, oh my God, it's one of the best I've ever had. Stop, you know, stop.
Right.
You know, learn your whiskey.
Well, and
But-
let's be honest, when you go to buy a bottle yourself with your own hard-earned cash, what are you going to pick?
Right.
And you have to consider that. And I think of, you know, like Michael, you said, you think about that price point across,
Sure.
and
Price is everything.
if I had $130 to go buy a bottle, this wouldn't be the one that I would pick, but it's good. I think, like I mentioned to you, I think it's a good starter bourbon for people that want to get into maybe some of the higher proofs, just to kind of say they did it and what do they get out of it.
If you didn't have it, and you walked into the liquor store and saw that bottle at $130, would you buy it if you haven't had it yet?
Well, you're talking.
Just the reason why you pulled it off the bar.
Right.
Yes, because marketing. And
Right.
and it's
100%.
cool looking. Completely
That's-
cool looking.
right.
But
But once you had it, it's one of those that you want to share with people.
Well, you know, sometimes people don't think about that. I'm the type of guy, you know, and Karen will tell you, it's not bragging rights or anything, but you know, we travel a lot, and we would stop. We would plan our destination
around the liquor store.
Around liquor
That's how I
stores.
plan my vacations.
So I'm
That's
not
why we have
I'm
this
not
sign.
being an arrogant idiot, but I'm just going to tell you
But he is.
that anytime I traveled, I would spend anywhere from $37,000 to $5,000 on bourbons and scotches and,
This-
and whiskeys and all that.
But it's a
Spirits.
hobby,
That's
and
why
it's
you
something
have
that
this
you like.
sign.
Exactly right.
But they're hobbies,
right.
and that's what you spend your money on is your hobbies.
But you know, I've had this bottle before, and go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's not about me right now.
No, you're fine. And I agree with you, and that's why we have this sign that kept pointing to it. Nothing says I mean business like using a shopping cart at the liquor store.
Amen.
Because, yeah, that is one of the things we treat ourselves to when we do go shopping. But again, if I were to see this, as cool as the bottle is, yes, it would grab my attention. But it depends what else is available.
Right, 100%. Marketing. Kudos to their marketing department.
Yeah, no, it's cool. That's what, like I said, that's why you grabbed it off the bar, and it's
Right.
good. Greg, your turn.
I like it. I like it. I do. I do like
I
it.
like it a lot.
I've had that bottle.
Forrest.
You know, that it wasn't a full bottle when we opened it, obviously, and you know, we did a couple of tastings down here, not with the Whiskey Roundtable, just our friends. But is it worth the price? No. Do I like it? I do. Is that something you would buy? Me being me, absolutely. I want
If you
that.
had
I
FU
want
money,
that bottle.
yeah, you would.
I want that bottle.
I want that bottle.
It's a great bottle, and it, you know, it even though that, you know, you have your friends over and all this stuff. Listen, I get tired sometimes of people come over to the house and say, you know, hey, can you give me a cigar? And or hey, you know, what are we drinking today? You know, it's like whatever you brought. You know, so long story short, you know, we have other bottles that people can drink as well. And but at the end of the day, I like the bottle. I'm not a fan of the price, but at the end of the day, I like the bottle. I would like to have it on my shelf.
It would almost be a good gift for somebody that you know,
It's a good bottle, man.
it was a good gift, a good bottle.
Absolutely.
I mean, if it was somebody like an uncle retire or somebody retiring, or one of your, and you wanted to spend $100, $110
Well,
bucks.
Rob, this is a brother gift, so.
Right, a brother gift. Yeah, a brother gift.
And,
It's a,
and it's awesome.
so
brother
that's what
gift.
you're looking at. I mean, you're
No,
looking for a
but-
higher end brother gift.
But
That
we-
would be it.
We hit that bottle. It was a good bottle.
Oh,
Yeah, oh, God,
come on,
100%.
look at how much
Good
is gone. It's not like we didn't like it. Yeah,
So my score is 3.5,
3.5.
regardless of the money. I like it.
3.5. Nice scores. Okay, we're kind of all over the board on
That's
this.
okay. That's the
No,
whiskey rum.
no.
Club.
Michael sucks. I'm sorry, was that allowed?
Michael said, I'm a rye fan, so Michael said he's not a rye fan, so maybe that's why I like it more, because
Correct.
I'm a rye fan.
Right.
So I didn't associate that. I guess I haven't been that discerning about my rye bias, but maybe that's why I like
Like I said,
it
it's
more.
the dryness you get with rye that for me isn't something that I necessarily enjoy in my
Right.
whiskey, such as why my
Got it.
rating's a little lower. But like I said, if that's someone you enjoy, then yes, you're going to enjoy this pour. It's just not my personal preference.
Yeah, everybody's
Right.
palate's different, man. We all
See,
know
and
that.
I find it interesting that you said it's dry because if I compare this to a wine,
I said it was. Well, we all
Yeah.
said it was dry right out of the gate,
Right.
So,
if I compare this to a dry wine, I don't like cabs.
What?
I don't because to me cabs are dry. There's a lot of high tannin in there.
Sure.
But this, I didn't get the dryness out of it. And maybe it's because I do like the ryes, which I think are on the sweeter side. So,
Ryes
I
are
mean,
really
maybe it
ours, too.
canceled it out. I'm not sure. But
No, that's.
I didn't get that bad dryness out of it. We'll put it that way.
So-
Overly dry.
So basically, buy a bottle, try it, and send us your notes because we're all confused.
No, I
Hey, now you know why they didn't put notes on there.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, honest to God, I mean,
Let
you
them
look-
figure it out.
Everybody was all over the board on this one.
bring your check.
Everybody was all over the board on this one. If you had $100 disposable income, I would buy it. I seriously 100%.
I'd buy it.
It's a buy it.
Or more
I would
importantly,
like to have another bottle.
you hit the nail on the head when you said, I personally would spend $120 or whatnot on this bottle. But as a gift for someone else, that changes, my mental math. I think this would make a great gift.
Yes.
Right.
Not only it is not only good, it's probably something they wouldn't buy, and because of the price point and the marketing and whatnot. But it looks nice. The bottle looks nice. The contents are good. It's a great gift.
Right.
So that totally changes the economics of it to me.
Absolutely, and you are so right with that because if somebody were to offer me this, I'd be like, oh, that's good,
If I
But
didn't
then
know what
when you
that,
put everything together,
if I was at an outing as we do, after the winter, so to say, and somebody said, hey, you got to try this. Last week, Michael, my buddy Michael, right? So.
Not this one.
He wanted to try, he wanted to try some stuff, this and that. He brought some bottles and this and that. And if somebody brought me that bottle and said, "Hey, I want you to try this," I like it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
yeah,
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's do it, man. So,
Yeah.
sometimes I buy stuff in my travels, so to say, and I don't really know a lot about it. I'll see, okay, that's Bardstown or
Right.
Four Roses or whatever, But at the end of the day, I'd buy the bottle. I'd like to have the bottle.
I think it's a good pour.
So it just goes back to Rayon, if you will.
Well, why don't
Right.
while you do that, why don't we let Michael pour the shot into the infinity bottle?
oh
Come on,
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
So, because that one's definitely got to go in there. It's definitely infinity bottle worthy.
absolutely.
I don't think it's going to blow a whole lot of proportions out of there. It's a good one.
It's a very unique flavor profile, so it's going to add just a little bit more depth to the
Amen,
Infinity
bro.
bottle.
Look at us all watching you so
Well,
intently.
but this is just such a ceremonial thing, though. I mean, I wish we had special music
we
for
should
this.
have special music for this.
Bah, bah, bah. No, it's stripper music. No.
Bow, bow, chicka, bow. I'm just kidding.
Bow, cha-cha, wow, wow.
Listen, Mike, he couldn't get out of work today, so that's why he's here today. Like, man, you should have
You
saw
should-
me in my thong, man.
Yeah,
I
you
was-
should be dancing. Come on,
Hey.
come on.
Give it a quick swirl.
Let's get it on.
Come on, now, Michael.
There you go. That's perfect.
All blended in.
That's perfect. There you go.
Yeah. So, Bob, what is Michael contributing to? This
Well,
was
that-
one of your great ideas.
Well, this was an idea that we took over from last year because Greg and Doug used to do their infinity bottle battles.
Right.
But we should literally. I came up with it. I says, hey, let's do the infinity bottle of the stuff that we're pouring on a weekly basis, stuff that we do, and so that's how we're doing this. It's an infinity bottle. It's one shot, 2 ounces of everything that we try in the whiskey bourbon area. We're not going to try and add a scotch or the cognac or anything like that. And then hopefully at the end of the year in December, November, before we take our break, we get to pour this out. And what I would like to I'm just going to throw this out here is maybe if some of you guys start interacting with us a little more, the people that interact us with a little, maybe we could send you a sample of it. I don't know what the legalities are, but maybe we can do that.
Hey, but if you show up on site,
yes,
then
we
it's
could do
just
that.
Sharing
But
among friends.
that would be one of those things is that try the infinity bottle with us. Well, maybe we can do that and get some of the samples poured out and send them to some of our loyal viewers and have them taste the infinity bottle with us.
Amen.
So that was just one of those things. I'm sorry I surprised that on the cast and on the crew. at that
No,
point in
no, I
time.
think it's great because we always talk. We want to interact.
But
with
the infinity
everyone.
bottle is one of those really cool things that if you do it the right way, it's gonna be really exquisite. And if we do infinity bottle a year, it's great. Like I started mine at home. I've got like 9 pours into mine right now. Michael graciously came over last week and brought me a couple of good pours that.
You put them in your cold garage.
Yes, no, I had the propane heater in there.
Industrial heater.
Yes, I had the. Yeah, so we were sitting amongst all my tools in the garage, huddling together.
They're
Real
going
close.
Great ambiance.
Oh yeah. I mean, Goober's
I leaned up against a shovel.
Goober's garage. I mean, he had an air ratchet hitting my head. It was.
Oh my!
Yeah, it was just one of those things. Is that hey, infinity bottles is just another tweak and activity that you can do in this hobby. And that's where that's at. And I'm excited to get that bottle at least halfway full.
Yeah,
And
we'll
on
have
its
it
way,
more than
Spaz.
halfway.
Well, I'm
trust
hoping
me.
to. I'm hoping to do some really good ones, and so far I think that we've had some real good winners in there. The ones that we've tasted so far this year have been really good. I'm looking forward to the ones in the future.
I would agree,
Can
and we are on the fence whether or not we're going to have a show
So that's what
next week.
We are doing a show next
Okay.
Friday. We're going to
Okay.
cancel everything out. What the well, I'll just
Our
leave it-
previous
Our-
late,
yeah.
our previous engagement, yes.
Yeah, that fell through. But at the end of the day, we are going to be here next Friday.
So watch the website, watch the Facebook page. We'll post a bottle that we're going to be doing next week because
I just went there to look. I
'cause we
know
had a
we
couple-
have it figured out.
for a couple weeks past, but we didn't have anything for next week.
And
And
we've
we'll figure it
got-
out. We'll have it-
we've
we'll
got
have it by
St.
Monday.
Patrick's Day
Yeah, we got
coming
St.
up.
Patrick's Day coming up. So,
Well-
but next week is going to be we should probably call it the leap year special since it'll be the
It's
first
going
of
to
the
be all
month.
Irish whiskeys.
It'll be Irish whiskeys. Okay.
Irish whiskeys. And then
Oh my
I have
God!
an idea.
Oh, I am not dressing as a leprechaun.
so
Do you still have the bee costume?
No, I rented that one.
Oh, okay.
oh
Dang.
my goodness,
You just want to see my stinger.
I do.
small thing or whatever.
Hey,
thing.
baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, hey.
Oh my God! Wow, look at the time. We really need to go and get out of
Let's get out of
here.
here. Let's get out of here.
Let's roll this out.
Get us out.
All right, kids. Hey, thanks, kids, for watching the show. Sorry, you guys, that we didn't get to the
You say
scroll
that before me.
at the end of the day. But anyway, we'll catch you next Friday. We will be here. Until then, I'm your host, Big G.
Traveler Karen.
There you go.
I
Travel
changed
Karen.
up.
My goodness.
Michael Newman, thanks for watching.
All right, kids.
Bourbon
Thanks,
Bob.
everyone. Have
See
a
you later.
great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Peace and love.
See you.